Do I look tired? Because I'm tired, man. It is tough making a film. Where are we? We are about T minus 14 hours to release of my first original film. And I'm burnt out. I'd say these last 3 weeks have been crunch time. I've been grinding, putting in hours. I came up with the idea for this film probably almost a little less than a year ago. It was sometime in the fall of 2019. And I've noticed that I get my film ideas from listening to music, and not like actual like music, but from like, if I play a video game and I hear a really nice soundtrack, I go and listen to the tracks. Or if I hear a really good soundtrack or OST on a movie, then I'll go through and listen to it and see what kind of emotions it makes me feel. And then that's when I start getting ideas for films. Like I recently just beat The Last of Us Part 2, and I heard this really good song, and I spent like 3 hours just listening to it on repeat. And now I'm sparking ideas for the next film I'm gonna make next year. So that's how I come up with my film. So it's been about a year that I've had this film in mind. And I'd say the craziest thing about making a film from scratch, in terms of like films, the first thing I ever did that was kind of close was the Creed 2 remake, which was exactly a year ago tomorrow, September 14, 2019. That's the closest thing. And that wasn't from scratch. The main reason I wanted to do that was because I wanted to teach myself, how do you make a film? How did they plan out these shots? How did they edit it and chop it up? And it taught me a lot for this film going into this one. But there was still so much more that was to come. And there's still so much more that I got to learn for the next one and the next one. It's a nonstop learning process. But it is crazy seeing how a film goes from just an idea to starting a script, to finishing the script, to getting a production crew, to casting the characters, to location scouting and figuring out where we're filming this, to shooting days, and we're actually filming, and then to see it happen in the editing process. So much happens from start to finish. Yeah, it's crazy seeing that progression. The stuff people don't see on screen. I'm a nerd, so I watch a lot of interviews with directors and actors and stuff like that, and I'm always trying to learn. And the one thing I always hear is that when the camera is actually turned on, it is only like 20% of what it takes to make a film. The other 80% is all prep. You prep 5 hours for the 5 seconds that the camera's going to be turned on. And that's very true. The amount of prep that I went through months before we even turned on the camera and said action, the amount of prep that it took just to turn on the camera is insane. I put in hours. I stayed up late. I prioritized it over everything because it's what I really wanted. I did it. We did it. Me and my crew. Shout out to the crew. And then after that, once you turn off the cameras, now you're into the editing process, which is what I've been doing. And that's where it gets really crazy. Almost every single sound you hear has been specifically put in by me, by hand. The cars honking, the birds chirping, the footsteps, the door closing, the door opening, picking up a bag, dropping a bag, running, the heavy breathing, the music, everything. Almost, I'd say like 90% of the stuff that you hear has been put in manually by me. Don't get it twisted. I love it. This junk is so much fun. I love making films. I feel like I found my real passion, and I just, it's just so much fun. I've made 8 drafts of this film now. I went through and edited everything. I made a rough draft, and then I watch it, take notes, make a second draft, watch it, take notes, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. I'm about to watch the 8th draft right now to make sure and see if it's ready for upload. If not, there might be a night draft that I make tonight before it drops in the morning. And you just see it get more polished and more polished and more polished. But you also, when you're making these rough drafts and I'm watching it, it messes with your mental health. It really does, which is what I've noticed, because I'm constantly just looking for the bad stuff. The stuff that's bad, the stuff that needs to be changed, the stuff that's wrong. That's all I'm looking for whenever I watch this film. I'm just watching it. I'm like, oh, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. Fix that. Fix that. You did that wrong. Fix that. You did that wrong. Fix that. So just kind of getting your mental health, and you get like this, I feel like I would like a bipolar disorder, because like one day I'll be like, hey, this film's looking really nice on the second draft, and then I'll start working on the third draft and I'm like, bro, this junk is so trash. And it switches just like that. So it really does mess with my mental health. So I really do need a break after I finish this film. So when you watch it, make sure to show some love. I put my heart and soul into this project. It's not perfect. It's nowhere near perfect, but it's a start. And if you want to do something, you got to start somewhere. And this is where I'm starting. This is my first original film. I just told myself, let me try writing a story by myself and then making a film about it. And that within itself is a learning process. Learning how to put something that you wrote on paper and convert it on camera. You know, when you write something on paper, you know, and you convert it to camera, there's so many different things you have to think about. Detail shots, you know, get a shot of just them putting their bag down. Get a shot of just, you know, these little things. When you convert it to film, there's so many different aspects that you have to worry about. You know, what kind of sound am I going to use in here? What kind of music am I going to put in here? How am I going to edit it? Where am I going to cut? You know, so that's a learning process within itself. And then the edit, you learn how to edit. You know, I learned a lot of editing through my YouTube channel. Shameless plug, youtube.com/Kala. Go check it out. I got lots of content on there, and I put in grind on those videos. It's been tough, but it's honestly probably been the funnest and coolest experience of my life. The most memorable accomplishment of my life is coming in 14 hours, and I'm so excited for it. You know, the numbers don't matter to me. The views don't matter to me. The likes don't matter to me, because regardless, I learned something. I became a better person. I created stronger friendships and relationships with the people that were involved, and it's something that will be in our memories for the rest of our lives. So no matter what, it's a win. And anybody who watches it that drops in the morning, that's just an add-on. I'm so proud of this project, and I'm so proud of how much I've grown and how much I've seen the actors growing on camera, the people behind the scenes on camera. It is a great, great experience. I'm already thinking about the next one. I will catch y'all on release day. Invisible, 10 a.m., September 14th. I'll catch y'all later, man. We out.